Your first 2 messages on Tinder are the most important. For most guys, this is where their conversations die because they are waiting for the girl to show interest. I don't wait. I figure out. If you feel like dating apps are kind of a scam because you're wasting a lot of time in conversations that go nowhere, or maybe you try to lead your conversation somewhere and you put a lot of effort into it, but girls just reply, haha, this is the video for you. Anytime you try to make a conversation with a girl who is dry, you are losing her attraction. But at the same time, it's not because she's dry that she's not interested. The truth is that every back and forth is going to kill attraction, while you could tell very easily from the first or second message. A lot of guys think that they have to convince the girl, that they have to build comfort, that they have to build compliance, but not at all. You're not here to convince her to go out with you, you're here to figure out whether or not she wants to go out with you. If you don't know me, my name is Max, nice to meet you. I've been traveling the world, I've been dating hundreds of girls, and I've been coaching guys for years. So last month I decided, for the sake of the experiment, to ask ChatGPT to tell me what to do in all my Tinder conversations. I got 0 dates. And on top of that, I got insulted actually very often. I think it's a strong proof that mainstream dating advice just doesn't work. By following this advice, I was having super long conversations, trying to make girls laugh, trying to make girls invest in me, and eventually they all ghosted. But the reason is very simple. Girls don't want that. That's not why they are on dating apps. And if you look at the stats, statistically, if your conversation is longer than 10 messages back and forth, you are very, very unlikely to ever end up on a date with her. So after a month of following ChatGPT's advice and getting none, 0, I changed things up. Then I went back to my old ways and the leads started flowing again. The core idea is that if you try to warm up a girl, or you try to generate her investment, or you try to make her want to talk to you more by being funny, this doesn't work. So the way you deal with those 3 first messages is very simple. It's going to apply a filter on every girl you're matching. And we do this because we can't rely on the replies that the girls give you at face value. Sometimes she's gonna reply haha and the laughing crying emoji, and it means she likes you. Sometimes she's gonna reply the same thing and it means she doesn't like you. So her reactions at face value, it's not enough to know how she feels about you. But that's why we're gonna apply a filter on her reaction so that we don't look at her words, but we look at her actions. 10 years ago, when Tinder just came out, it made sense to look at a girl's words because back then it was new, so it made sense to think, okay, if she writes a lot, she must be interested, and if she doesn't write a lot, then she's not interested. Now, this is not how it works anymore. All that matters is your frame and the way you lead the conversation, and whether or not she complies with that frame. I'm gonna show you real life examples because I think when you know what you're looking for, it becomes painfully obvious when a girl is interested and when a girl is not interested. In this example, she's not talking a lot, she's basically giving me one-word replies, but when I push for more, she agrees with it, she complies with it, she knows I'm trying to make something happen, and because she wants it to, she's gonna help and comply. Another very simple example, although this girl is writing a little bit more, we could say that she's investing a little bit more in the conversation, but it's irrelevant. We are pushing somewhere, she's complying, it's a done thing. Now I'm gonna show you an example with a girl who invests a little bit more in the conversation. You can see that she's asking me questions. It looks like she's trying to get to know me, but when I push for something, she changes topic. It's kind of obvious that whenever I'm leading the conversation somewhere flirtatious towards a date or something like that, she tries to move the conversation away from it. Now, I understand it's a bit of an advanced concept, so let me explain. Your frame is the direction in which you are leading the interaction. Her compliance is how much she accepts your frame. For example, you're texting a girl and you're telling her, I'm sure you're a bad girl, haha, with the demon purple devil emoji, and she replies, haha. There, she's not complying to your frame. It's a neutral answer that doesn't further what you just said. On the other hand, you could tell a girl, I'm sure you're a demon, and she replies no with, like 5 O's in the no and an emoji at the end. Even if on the surface it goes against what you say, the subtext is that she's playing along with your frame. And that's just an example, but again, in general, don't take what she says at face value, think about the intent and the frames under it. If she's giving you a dry, positive answer that doesn't play into your frame, it's a bad thing. If she's giving you a playful dismissal of your frame, well, she's still playing within your frame, and that's a good thing. Now, all that you need to do is to set a frame and keep talking to girls who play within your frame. To illustrate that, I'm going to show you an example with a girl who's extremely attractive that I met a while ago. She's a model, she has her own website, she sells photos and videos of herself because she's pretty she's making money because she's pretty. I'm insisting on this because I want to show you how a girl who's demanded is going to interact with men. Girls like that are never going to invest effort in the conversation, and that's why you need to lead hard, and that's why you need to understand frames, and that's why you need to look for compliance. Anything else than compliance is going to be a wrong indicator of her actual level of interest. And it's funny because once you understand how it works, you can see very well in the conversation that it's very simple. It's just me leading forward and her complying to everything. If she doesn't comply with your frame, bro, I'm sorry to tell you, but over thousands of experiments, I have noticed that if she refuses to comply with your frame even once, you're never gonna meet her. And that's why it's so efficient, because at the first sign that she does not comply with your frame, you know already that she doesn't want to meet you. And again, keep in mind that it's very different from her writing a lot and appearing cold. She can be cold or lazy and be interested in meeting a guy. What matters is not how much she writes, what matters is the frame. The way you set the frame of the conversation and the way you lead your conversations is very simple, because it's overall the same thing that you will do with any woman you would meet anywhere, during the day, during the night, on the street, in the clubs, anywhere. First, you start the conversation and you see if she's open to talk to you, like having a normal, very simple small talk conversation. Then you figure out whether or not she's open to flirt with you. Then you figure out if logistically she's willing and available to meet a guy, and then you lock down the logistics. Same thing you will do with any girl that you meet anywhere, but on dating apps, you can do this very simply with very few words, and girls who are receptive, they are not necessarily going to write a lot. Girls have so many options that if she writes little, it's not because she's not interested, it's just her default behavior. Having the right filters will help you determine whether her writing little is actual disinterest or she's just in her routine mode. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna look at her intent, you're gonna look at her intention, and to do that, you're gonna look at how hard she complies to your frame. I've talked about it in my recent videos, and that's why my coaching clients get the best results. It's because they are not looking at superficial signs of interest, but really the frame that's behind everything. That's how you get girls who appear cold at first. If you're interested in getting coached and diving deeper in those frame shifts to get with the best girls, check out the links below this video. And so the trap you must avoid is that thinking talking more to girls increase your chances, because it doesn't. What matters is whether or not she complies with your frame. And you might tell me, but Max, I talked with this girl for a while and eventually we went on a date together, and yeah, sure, but you didn't have to. You could have gotten the same result in 5 or 6 messages. It's very simple, because if she likes you and she's on Tinder to actually get a date and not to get attention, filtering fast will work. And if she doesn't like you, it's not gonna change anything. Anyways, I know it's a little bit more of an advanced video than most of the Tinder advice you can find online. Understanding underlying frames and understanding how girls comply or not with those frames is really what gets a guy to the advanced level. Remember that you're not here to try to win her over, but you're here to figure out whether she's already yours.